Hello, everybody. It is Friday, and it is our final day of the IMAG School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And so I am outside filming because one of the activities you guys are going to be doing definitely should be done outdoors. So I'm going to be doing that one. I may come up a little bit closer in a second to show you some of the other activities that we're doing. I'm going to go a little bit out of order compared to the schedule that you were given. So one of your activities this morning is to make mandrake cakes. So again, if you're familiar with Harry Potter, you know that mandrake root was something that they were harvesting in their herbology class, and it is the little screaming root guy they wear the earmuffs for and had to be really careful. I think Neville Longbottom actually passed out from it, and they were using it to counteract a petrification spell. And so in this case, so yours is gonna be a little bit different. Yours is gonna be something you get to eat. And so I have already made one. So I'll kind of walk over here. So I'm just not sure how the camera is looking here. And so I already made mine. It's actually in a little cup here. And what I did was the herbology kit that you had from the other day actually had 2 pots in it. And so I just took my little pot and my label, and then I ended up putting my little mug cake that I made inside. So I'm gonna show you what you need to do that activity. And so you're looking for the bag that says Friday activity number 2. And inside, there's going to be a paper mug. There is going to be the cake mix. Depending on which version you got, you might also have a little packet of frosting. Some of them did, some of them didn't. So my first one did not, this one does. And then there's also a little individual pack of Oreo cookies and a little package of spice drops. And there's also a plastic knife. So the other thing that you're going to need for this activity is you are going to need water, and you're also going to need a measuring spoon, and then you're also going to need a microwave. So for this one, the directions are actually on the back of the package, so it's pretty easy. It tells you what to do. All you need is 3 tablespoons of water. If you have milk, you can do that instead, but it will work just as well with water. So we're going to go ahead and put that in the cup. And then we're going to take 3 tablespoons of water. And we're going to mix that up. Now, this activity, anytime you're doing cooking, is considered chemistry. And so for this one, if you think of it this way, this is a chemical change when you are baking something, because you have your different ingredients, your flour, your chocolate, your eggs, your water, all those things. And when you mix it up and make that batter, and then you bake it, in this case, you microwave it, you make something new. In fact, you can't get your ingredients back. I can't get my flour back. I can't get my water back. I can't get the chocolate back. Everything's all mixed up and has now changed and made something new, in this case, cake. So you're gonna mix that up, and then you're actually gonna microwave that for about 1 minute and 15 seconds. Again, the package tells you how much time it needs to be in the microwave. It depends on the strength of your microwave and which kind of mix that you got. So make sure you pay attention to that on the back. While it's microwaving, you can go ahead and get the rest of your ingredients ready. So you've got your cookies. You want to crush them up. Just crush them inside the package. Again, when we're looking at chemistry, what you're doing right now is a physical change. So we're not making anything new. We are just crushing the cookies up into smaller pieces. So that's going to be a physical change where we change the way something looks, but we don't make anything new. And when your cake is done baking, you're going to take these cookies and you're going to pour them on top. So that's going to be your soil. And then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to take the 2 little spice drops that you have, take them out of their package, and now you're going to use that plastic knife. All I did was slice each one of them in half. And these are just going to be the little leaves of your mandrake that are just going to be poking out of the soil, out of that cookie mix that's inside of your mandrake cake. So you're going to put all of that together in the cup. That's going to be your mandrake cake. And then, yes, of course, you can eat it. Again, if you have any allergies to things like dairy, chocolate, anything like that, just be sure that you're not eating it if you have those allergies. And that's it for that activity. All right, so I'm going to move that to the side. For your next activity, that's the reason I'm outside, is you want to look for Friday activity number 1, and I believe we're considering this one as still a potions class. So we're gonna be doing a butterbeer Mentos fountain. So inside your bag, you have your butterbeer. In this case, it's Dr. Pepper cream soda. You have 2 index cards, and you have 3 Mentos in here. Now, what you're going to want to do for this activity, you're gonna need tape. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that index card, you're going to roll it into a cylinder like this. You wanna make sure that your cylinder is wider than your Mentos are, because your Mentos have to be able to drop through the cylinder. Okay, all right, so you've got 3 Mentos in here. Now, we've talked about this before with Mentos fountains. This is a chemistry experiment. What's happening here is your soda is carbonated, has carbon dioxide inside. Your Mentos, if you were to look at them under a magnifying glass or a microscope, they're not smooth. They have little divots in them. We call those nucleation sites. And so when you drop this inside, all that carbon dioxide tries to gather on those nucleation sites, and that's what forces that soda up and out of the bottle. It won't work the same way if you do it in like a cup versus a bottle. It'll still foam and do all kinds of stuff, but you want that bottleneck effect that happens with a soda bottle. The experiment will only work once, so you can't do it again once after you've done it one time. This is definitely an outdoor activity, just because it does tend to make a mess. I have noticed, like yesterday, we did this with regular cream soda. It didn't erupt quite as much as like it does with regular soda. So I brought some other sodas out here, so we're gonna try this a couple different ways. So I'm gonna do it first the way that you have it, and we're gonna see how much of a mess I make on my table when we do this. Now, you have the cylinder, you have a flat index card. I will tell you, this is a lot easier if you have somebody to do it with you. It works much better as a 2-person process when you have this system. But we're gonna see if I can do this on my own. We'll see. I could end up wearing a whole bunch of soda in a second. You're gonna take the cap off. You're gonna hear that like whoosh sound. That's that carbon dioxide escaping from your bottle. And then what you wanna do is you're gonna lay 1 index card on top. You're going to try and center your tube on top. You're gonna drop your Mentos inside. And then what you need to do, and again, this is why it works better with 2 people, is you gotta slide index card out and then let the Mentos drop down. And you wanna move pretty quickly after this because it's probably gonna make a mess. All right, we're almost there. And then drop. We get a decent size there. So that's that eruption that's gonna happen again. You wanna go outside. We can definitely see that my table's angled backwards because it's all rolling towards me right now. What I'm gonna do is show you a different way to do this. So I'm gonna take the same kind of soda, same amount of Mentos, but I have a Mentos launcher. So I'm gonna come up a little bit closer to show you this. So this launcher has a little spout here. So it's actually gonna like funnel it even to a smaller area, which should make it have a higher tower. It also has a little launch mechanism here. So it's a lot easier for me to put them in, hold them there, and then launch it really quickly. So we're gonna try it with this. If this is something that you wanna try, they do have them on Amazon. They're not expensive. So we're gonna try it this way. And then I have a couple other sodas with me. I figured let's try it with a few different sodas. So this time, I'm gonna go ahead and drop my Mentos inside and cap it. And now we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna release. And I'm gonna move. All right, much better that time. So you see the difference that happens when we make the exit even smaller for that eruption that's happening there. We get a much higher tower on that one. And then we're gonna do this again, because I wanted to show you the difference. All right, so we tried it with cream soda. Okay, we're gonna try it with Diet Coke. So here's what's been happening here. Some of our sodas have been in the closet for a little while, and they're kind of going flat. So usually Diet Coke works really well for this experiment, but what I've been discovering is, trying to see if there's an expiration date on my soda. I didn't know sodas have expiration dates. So this one expired in March. This is why we say don't eat or drink anything in your chemistry lab. You don't know how old it is. We're gonna try it. We're gonna see what happens if your soda is expired, which means, in this case, it's not as carbonated. So we're gonna see what happens with this. All right, same amount of Mentos, same launcher. Wow, we still got a pretty good stream on this one too. All right, so that is still pretty good on that one. Now, we've heard that Diet Coke works better, or works the best. Not necessarily true. All that happens with the sodas is that people will use diet soda instead of regular soda because diet soda has aspartame as the sweetener instead of sugar. So when you make the mess, it's less sticky when it's aspartame versus sugar. So it doesn't actually affect the experiment. But we're gonna see, is there a difference also between Pepsi, Diet Coke, and I'll also look to see what the expiration date was on these. And then I also have one more that we'll do after this. So we're gonna put this in, cap it. Trying to see if there's an expiration on this bottle. Maybe it was on the cap. I don't see the expiration date. So we'll just go for it and see what happens. So we're gonna twist this on. All right. And here we go. A little bit less on this one, not quite as high, kind of disappointing. So this is a way also, if you needed to do like a science fair project and you wanted to do Mentos fountains, you can do a pretty cool experiment with it because you can try different kinds of sodas. So you could do regular soda versus diet, different brands, Pepsi versus Coke, different types of soda, orange soda, root beer, cream soda, different sizes. These are the 16 ounce. There's actually a little smaller 12 ounces. There's 1 liters, and then there's 2 liters. You can also do it by testing the temperature. And so do the experiment with soda that's come right out of the refrigerator. Do the experiment with soda that has been out in the heat. You can also do it with how many Mentos are you using. So maybe use 1 Mentos, and then maybe for another one, use 6. So you can do a lot of different variations on this experiment. So for this one, these launchers typically I think hold up to 6 or 7 Mentos. So we're gonna do all that can fit in there this time. So yeah, I can fit 7. A roll of Mentos has 14 Mentos. That shows you that I've done this so many times. I know how many Mentos are in a roll. So that's half a roll of Mentos this time. So we're gonna try it one more time. I have to make sure that we get this on really tight. Oh, or have it go off accidentally. Yay! It did exactly what I was trying not to do, which is if I don't get this on tight enough, it actually sprays out the side. At least I still got out of the way, so I'm not really wearing soda. But as you can see with that one, that probably went off the screen. You couldn't even see the top of where that eruption was, which is why if you're doing this at home, definitely make sure you're doing this outside. You will get in trouble if you're doing this inside in the house. But those are gonna be our Mentos fountains. So you're gonna do your butterbeer Mentos fountain, you're gonna do your mandrake cake. I've gotten everything on this table wet at this point. So the other things that we were gonna be demoing today was some more nitrogen. If you tuned into the videos yesterday, we already showed you Engorgio and Reducio and Glacius with the nitrogen. I'm gonna do it again really quick, and then we're gonna end with a charm that's called Bombarda. And so we're gonna do that one last. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour out some nitrogen. It's the very end of my nitrogen. I'm actually about to go get my tank refilled. Woo. All right. Woo. All right. So we've got a pretty full bowl of nitrogen here. So if you did tune in yesterday, you know that the air around you is filled with nitrogen. It's 78% nitrogen. The reason why this looks so smoky is that liquid nitrogen is at 321 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit, and it wants to be a gas. So it's trying to turn into a gas right now. Just a refresher, yesterday we used flowers. I'll do that again really quick. So what happens when you're freezing the flowers is it's actually the water inside the petals that's freezing. And so now my flour will actually shatter like glass. So we can kind of smash it over here and it's going to shatter. We also did an experiment where for Engorgio and Reducio, we took balloons that are filled with air, just regular air, and we put them down inside the nitrogen. And what happens is the air inside cools and contracts and the balloon shrinks. So that big giant balloon, I can actually fit, like I said, like 20 balloons in this bowl. We're just gonna do one right now. My hands are not in the nitrogen, I'm at the tippy top. But if I take my balloon back out, it's going to immediately start to reinflate because that air, I'm losing my earphones here, sorry. Because that air inside is actually warming up and expanding. I'm gonna put this to the side. A lot of times these pop, which terrify me. So the last thing we're gonna do a little bit of what I call bombarda. So we're gonna do a mini nitrogen cloud. So I'm gonna go ahead, you know, it's Harry Potter, so we gotta do it out of a cauldron. All right, so we got that set up. And I'm gonna throw these on. And what I have over here is hot water. And I'm gonna move a couple things off my table because I'm definitely about to make an even bigger mess. Woo. Trying to make sure I don't have anything else on here, but I'm not okay with it getting wet. Woo. Yeah, we definitely made a mess with this Mentos fountain, so absolutely make sure you're doing that outside. All right, inside my thermos is hot water. So this is hot water that I just heated up in the microwave. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna have really, really hot water actually hitting our nitrogen. So massive temperature change. And we'll get a cloud. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. We're gonna do a little one and just kind of do it right here. And that's gonna be your bombarda. All right, so that's going to be the end of our video for this morning. If you would like, there is an optional call this afternoon at 1 o'clock with me. It's your final call. And you should have inside of your bag your graduation certificate. If you tune in at 1 o'clock, we're gonna do your OWL, your owls, which is a little bit of Harry Potter trivia. And I'm gonna talk to you about a few activities that you can do at home with mom and dad, which are minute to win it Harry Potter style games. But that's it. So thank you guys for tuning in this morning. Have a great day.